Ren from Hallowed Be Thy Game, and today I'm going to share over 15 hidden gems from Red Art Games. Let's check it out. Hello everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Hallowed Be Thy Game, and I am so beyond stoked to be sharing with you 15 hidden gems that can be obtained right now through Red Art Games. By far the most common question I get on all my hidden gems videos are these games available physically? Well, every game on today's list is available right now through Red Art Games. Red Art Games has been extremely generous enough to offer the channel a 10% discount code. That's HPTG10. That'll get you 10% off your entire order. And also, if you follow the affiliate links down in the description, it'll help support the channel at no additional cost to you. So hey, it's a win-win. I've bought through Red Art Games. I think this is a fantastic company, and I'm really stoked because they curate their games to have some extremely cool games that you just don't see available physically anywhere else. So I'm extremely stoked to be sharing with you the games that I'm looking to pick up through them. So without further ado, let's get started. Now, the first game on today's list is Catmaze. Now, this is a 2D Metroidvania. You know how much I love that genre. And this is just a really cute pixel art game. Now, I do want to state that this world, it definitely offers like a very cute aesthetic, obviously, with the cats and everything. However, there is some darker undertones to this story. The side quests and everything about it was just really endearing. Maybe it's just kind of playing into like the parent side in me. However, I just really think this is just a quality game that I don't hear anybody talk about at all. It does have some backtracking and such like that, but it's definitely a quality Metroidvania, and you're going to be finding items and different familiars to help you with your combat and explore and unlock areas. It's a really great beginner Metroidvania, and it's something that I think you're going to have a lot of fun with. Now, next up, we have 8 Doors, Arum's Afterlife Adventure. This is definitely going to be a little bit more of a challenging Metroidvania, maybe to somebody who's kind of an intermediate in the genre. This is definitely a Metroidvania that has elements of what you would see in like a traditional Souls game. Obviously, I know that's an extremely overused phrase, but what I mean is like you have like an Estus Flash system and like a bonfire type system. It has an extremely unique art style, which I will admit didn't immediately grab me. However, I think the uniqueness of it just kind of helped lend to just the bold direction it was heading. And I found this story also to be extremely endearing and pulling me in. I'm very much eager to know more and what was going to happen. But this one has a very definite emphasis on exploring and being able to find upgrades and such like that. Definitely one that I think is going to hit the itch if you're looking for a Metroidvania that's going to pressure and challenge you a little bit more. Now, next up on today's list is Nuclear Blaze. The lighting in this game just makes it a goated pixel art game. You're going to be exploring in a very mysterious military complex, and there's going to be fire every friggin' where, and you're going to be finding upgrades, dodge rolls, such like that, that's going to help you to be able to take on this nuclear blaze and find out what's going on. Extremely just an addicting game, and kind of an odd, almost like ASMR like type experience, just being able to put out the flames. I don't know, maybe there's an arsonist deep down in me. I don't know. Anyways, this is a fantastic game, and one that I just think is slipping under the radar, and I had no idea that it was being offered on Red Art Games. Check it out. Now, continuing on our list, we have Heidelberg 1693. This is a 2D side-scrolling game, and picture, if you would, like Castlevania meets a Musketeer meets Evil Dead. Okay, it's a little wacky and zany with its monster designs, but its gothic and oppressive atmosphere is really fun. Now, it does have a little bit of high-stakes gameplay, I felt. Again, I wouldn't say this is extremely, like, beginner unfriendly, but it is one that I think is going to encourage you to get better at kind of utilizing the musket shot mechanic that's in this game, where you're only able to, you know, shoot your musket and you have a cooldown and such like that. However, this is one that I think you're going to have a lot of fun with because that high risk, high reward gameplay really kind of got addicting, and some of the enemies and monster designs just kind of begged you and taunted you to just take them out. So I love this game's use of the background and some of the stage hazards and such like that. It was just a really cool retro callback that I think a lot of people are going to have fun with, and one that I think could theoretically just go so under the radar, and then once it finally picks up traction, you'll find out the physical release was a long time ago. Anyways, Heidelberg 1693, a quality spooky game. Check it out. Now, coming up next on today's list is one that I think a lot of people are gonna really be able to click with, and that's Unsouled. This is an action RPG that kind of takes like a parry and dodge system, like a dash system, similar to what you would see in like Hades. Now, I'm not gonna go as far to say this game is as good as Hades. However, I think it is a very much a quality action game that is definitely smooth and responsive. I found that its world and aesthetic to be very alluring. I thought the story is extremely intriguing. However, this is a game that does encourage you to master the combat mechanics and such, to be able to take on kind of the gank rushes that can come at you. But once it finally does click and you can kind of see the matrix and figure it out, it is ultra satisfying to just slaughter these hordes of monsters coming after you. This is a quality game I think a lot more people need to give attention to. Now, I'm so stoked to be able to see that Red Art Games is making War Tech Fighters, an action mech RPG, available. This is a game that I heard about quite a while ago, and I just naturally assumed that it was like in scalper, like reseller, like limbo, and I was just wrote it off. So I was so stoked to see that this was available. The gameplay in this is just friggin' banging, and it makes you like feel like a legitimate power creep to just dominate space in your death robot. And like, God, that's what I love. Now, if you're new to the channel, look, I gotta come clean. Mech RPGs and such like that just offer a weird fix in my brain that I just cannot get enough of. And there is a little bit of a learning curve in this game to be able to learn how to kind of manage the power resource with your action abilities and such like that. But once you kind of get into the groove of this game, I really found it to just be a flawed diamond, but a diamond nonetheless. I just really think that for mech RPG fans that you are going to find some worth in this game. It really feels like an old school PC mech game, but I found like execution attacks on weakened enemies to feel so good, and it just kept me hooked during the tougher dogfights in it. But it's by no means, again, a perfect game, but I feel that it's a quality mech game that I think fans of the genre will have a great time with, and it's very much a gear-based and less skilled game at times. So I think in that aspect, if you're just kind of, dedicated into power, advancing the power level and just upgrading your mech, you're going to have a fun time with it. Now, Helvetii is a game that I had to make an absolute top priority to be on this list. Look, all of you know how much I friggin' love Sword of the Vagrant, how much I love Vanillaware games. Helvetii is like a roguelite Muramasa the Demon Blade, okay? This game is what I think is, I just think it's a must-own for Muramasa Demon Blade fans, but as a mega fan of Vanillaware and Sword of the Vagrant, I would just be doing a disservice to you all if I didn't put this one on your radar. Look, it doesn't hold your hand, and it demands you quickly adapt to enemy and boss patterns, but for those of you who are inclined to a tough but fun game, this is absolutely one to keep in mind. With randomized level layouts, and the focus of the game is primarily on upgrading the stats of your character, you can just make your way through this game with 3 characters that range from like your typical well-rounded warrior melee combat all the way to like a magic wielding druid. It had a lot of great variety, and I love that. So with this addictive gameplay, I just love the world and the level designs. And with this aesthetic, I just wanted to see more of it. And this hauntingly beautiful game deserves more attention than it's getting right now, and I think you're going to have a lot of fun with it coming physically to the Switch. Now, touching on that, I know I have talked about it quite a few times on the channel, so I won't belabor the point here. But Sword of the Vagrant, look, my friends, if you in any way trust my opinion, or at least don't hate me that much to where you'll at least entertain the idea, give Sword of the Vagrant a try. Look, Red Art Games right now is offering this, and I'm so happy they have some pre-order bonuses and such like that, but Sword of the Vagrant is genuinely a hidden gem. I love this game. It is just baffling. It's flown under the radar for so long, but huge kudos to Red Art Games to give this a physical release. I'm beyond hyped. This is a must-own game. This is a must-own hidden gem. I'll sing the praises of this game all day, every day. Sword of the Vagrant, pick it up. Now, I do want to touch on Eiyuden Chronicle Rising. I know I'm probably saying that wrong. However, this is just a quality game that I think is the start of something big, something like akin to like a bigger franchise. You know, we do have 100 Heroes coming out, and this is kind of a prequel to that. But look, this is definitely a fun game. I think it is absolutely quality. I've got this one pre-ordered physically. This is a game that is worthy of you to check out. I don't think this is an ultra hidden gem or anything like that. I think this has gotten quite a bit of love and attention that it so deserves, but it's available physically right now through Red Art Games. Check it out. Now, Red Art Games has got it coming even more with Smelter. Look, I've covered this one on the channel as well, but yes, it is available physically right now through Red Art Games. This is just an absolute bangin' game that I just love the character designs. I love the combat in this. Look, if you are a fan of ActRaiser or heck, even more Mega Man type games, this is definitely one to check out. I love this game. I really hope this isn't the last we've seen from this series. I hope this becomes a series, but really, I've just been so endeared by this game. I think this is just so excellent, and I know a lot of people that I've talked to online have been waiting patiently for this game to get a physical release, and I'm so stoked to be able to tell you that right now you can pre-order it on Red Art Games. This is one that I have pre-ordered, and I am so stoked to be able to play it physically as well. This is definitely one that I think is a must-own for anyone who's a fan of Mega Man or ActRaiser. Now, Demon Gaze Extra has been available physically in the past. I've covered this game before. I think it's beyond quality. I think it's a great first-person dungeon crawling game. Look, the character and art design in this is just chef's kiss good. I think it's a quality game that has a very loyal fan base, a very rabid fan base, and I'm stoked that this is getting another physical release that's available right now through Red Art Games. This is one that I think a lot of people will regret if they don't check out later, and it's absolutely one that I think its passionate fan base is there for a reason. I think the quality of the combat and power progression in this game was extremely addictive to me, and that's coming from somebody who wouldn't necessarily call myself a baseline fan of first-person dungeon crawlers or really hard first-person dungeon crawlers. But this is one that I think has a lot of information about online, so newcomers to the genre can kind of help ease themselves into it and make their way through. But it's one that has just a very much a deep charm to it, and a series that I hope continues with further entries and such like that. Demon Gaze Extra, absolutely a must-own JRPG for anyone who's a fan of the genre. Now, as we're coming to the end of today's list, we have Metaloid Origin. Now, look, I haven't played any of the other games from this developer. This was my first one that they've made. But this game is just absolutely going to be for those who are in desperate need of more Mega Man in their life. This is a 2D action game that just has a glorious Mega Man aesthetic to it, with just an extremely fun soundtrack to sink into just a nostalgia-fueled dream. Look, I'm just going to come right out and say it, though. I'm a sucker for mechs, okay? We've covered that. But they're in this game, they're all absolutely just, you feel so powerful when you can hop in them. And just being able to pilot and hop into the mech, it's just always such a god-dang satisfying experience, okay? I genuinely just can't get enough of this game. And you have 3 characters that you can choose to play from. You have a level select system, and it just continues to follow that Mega Man format with really cool themed levels and a themed boss at the end of those levels to choose from. But I'm just going to give you a word of warning. If you find platforming games to be frustrating or difficult platforming games to be frustrating, just a word of caution here. This game it's a unique respawning method with crystals and such like that to where you use a resource to respawn. However, just don't get me wrong, this game is really fun, but I would liken it something more akin to a tougher Mega Man game. They always run. Look, I know the name of the game today is 2D action platformers, but look, that's what I've been in the mood for lately, and that's all I can share, okay? Look, the pixel art in this game is genuinely just mesmerizing, and I love the way that it looks on the OLED. But there was a game-breaking glitch with this game when it released, but I just want to let you know that it has been resolved since, okay? So you're all set to just jump straight into this and pick it up. And it is a blast, okay? This is a quality sci-fi story setting with just some excellent worlds to explore. This is some really fun action-packed gameplay, and here the emphasis is on countering enemies and utilizing your character's third arm. Look, keep it respectful and mature in the comments, alright? Like, third arm aside, despite being pretty adrenaline-filled with the combat, there are some just really generous checkpoints throughout the game that are going to help you get into the swing of combat and such as you develop with the game's skill and such like that. But definitely a fun game that I think a lot of people are going to be shocked with how enjoyable and addicting it can be. Now, second to last on today's list, we have Croixleur Sigma. Now, this is an arcade action game that has a rather simple branching story, but with some extremely satisfying gameplay and characters, and it really fits the bill of comfort food gaming. Look, that's the name of the game on this channel. I revel in comfort food gaming and jrpgs and action RPGs in particular, and Croixleur Sigma revels in the simplicity and enjoyable combat. Now, I love being able to unlock accessories and such like that for the characters and make my way through the different stages of the game, but really what it's all about, it's simple, it's fun, and it's satisfying, and it's absolutely going to hit the itch for someone who's just wanting to turn their brain off and have some hack and slash fun. Croixleur Sigma, definitely a comfort food game in my book. And last but certainly not least, we have a double pack offering here with Xenon Valkyrie Plus. Now, I do want to state that I haven't played the other game in this double pack, but I do love Cowcat games, and Cowcat and Diabolical Mind is kind of like a match made in heaven for hidden gems for me. I've shouted them out quite a few times on the channel, and I've even featured this game on kind of a Let's Play live stream that can be available, on the channel homepage. You can check it out if you want to see this game in more detail. Now, I do state that I think Xenon Valkyrie Plus is kind of the hardest of the Diabolical Mind trilogy, which I love those games so much. It's one that I think is extremely fun to play. This, to me, I think is just a great game for somebody who's open to the roguelite genre and willing to kind of just commit them. Maybe you don't have a ton of time or resources to just devote to a ton of different games. Roguelites can really offer kind of an endless amount of gameplay, and really with the 3 different characters here and the multiple endings, this is really one that I just think there's a ton of fun that can be had here, and I'm so stoked that it's still available to be had physically for the Switch. These hold a very special place in my heart, and with that, those are 15 games that I think you should be checking out on Red Art Games. Again, be sure to follow the affiliate links down in the description to help support the channel, and be sure to use HBTG10 to get 10% off your entire order through Red Art Games. Again, thank you so much for Red Art Games to be able to offer a discount code to the channel viewers. It's very much exciting to be able to see this curated and very fun hidden gem offering that they have going on right now. I want to thank you all so much for watching, liking, and subscribing for more hidden gem content, and a massive thank you to the channel members that continue to help this channel to be possible. Thank you all so much from the bottom of my heart. Thank you all so much again for watching, and I will see you all next time.